The promise was simple. America First would bring back manufacturing jobs, revitalize communities, and restore a sense of pride in American industry. For many, it was a vision of bustling factories, steady paychecks, and renewed hope for the middle class. The plan was to restore dominance in sectors like aerospace, where American innovation once set the global standard and provided livelihoods for generations of skilled workers. For years, this vision shaped policy and inspired millions who felt left behind by globalization. It was a rallying cry for those who saw their towns hollowed out and their futures uncertain. But today, August 28, 2025, a different story is unfolding, one that few could have predicted just a few years ago. The headlines aren't about new factories in Seattle or St. Louis, but about a seismic shift northward as the industry's center of gravity moves across the border. Boeing, an icon of American industry and a symbol of national pride, is moving major manufacturing and assembly lines to Canada, sending shockwaves through the sector and raising urgent questions about the future of American manufacturing. This isn't routine outsourcing, it's a fundamental realignment of North American aerospace, with Canada emerging as a new powerhouse in the field. The irony is clear. Policies meant to protect American industry have pushed one of its crown jewels to seek stability and opportunity elsewhere, leaving workers and communities in limbo. Tariffs and trade disputes intended to level the playing field have instead tilted it toward Canada, making it a more attractive destination for investment and growth. Once a junior partner, Canada is now a formidable competitor, seizing opportunities America has let slip away and building a reputation for innovation and reliability. This forces a difficult national conversation. How did a policy of revival lead to such a loss? What lessons can be learned, and what comes next for American workers? Boeing's move is a case study in the complex interplay of global economics, national policy, and corporate strategy, showing how quickly fortunes can change in a connected world. It reveals the unintended consequences of protectionism and how quickly industrial leadership can shift when policies fail to adapt to global realities. The promise of yesterday now faces the hard reality of today, leaving a nation to grapple with the true cost of its choices and the uncertain path ahead. The roots of this crisis lie in escalating trade disputes and protectionist policies. Over the past decade, global tensions have steadily increased, with countries prioritizing their own industries and tightening the rules of international commerce. The America First agenda brought sweeping tariffs on steel and aluminum, two critical materials for aerospace manufacturing. These new taxes raised costs for manufacturers like Boeing, making it more expensive to build planes in the United States. For a company with a vast interconnected global supply chain, these tariffs acted as a direct tax on every part and process. Margins were squeezed, production schedules became unpredictable, and the entire operation grew more complicated and costly. Retaliatory tariffs from other nations soon followed, making it even harder for American aerospace products to compete abroad. Exporting became a logistical and financial headache. Meanwhile, just across the border, Canada offered a stable, low-tariff environment. The Canadian government provided robust support for advanced manufacturing, making it an attractive alternative. Ottawa and provincial governments sweetened the deal with generous grants, tax incentives, and significant R&D funding. These measures were designed to attract global industry leaders and foster innovation. Boeing's contracts for new airliner components in Montreal and Winnipeg were the result of this long-term Canadian strategy. The company saw a clear path to growth and stability north of the border. Infrastructure upgrades, state-of-the-art machinery, and a focus on workforce training made the Canadian offer irresistible. Skilled workers and modern facilities promised a bright future for Boeing's operations. For Boeing, the Canadian package was a lifeline: lower costs, a stable business climate, and a government truly invested in its success. It was a chance to secure the company's future. The move sent a clear message to policymakers and industry alike. When domestic policy turns hostile, capital and jobs will flow to places where they're welcomed and supported. The tipping point had been reached and Boeing made its move, signaling a new era for North American aerospace manufacturing. The fallout from Boeing's decision has devastated American workers and their families. For many, the closure of these factories isn't just a headline, it's a personal crisis that upends daily life and shatters long-held dreams. In places like Everett, Washington, and North Charleston, South Carolina, thousands of skilled jobs have vanished almost overnight. These communities, once thriving hubs of innovation and industry, now face an uncertain future. These aren't just numbers, They're machinists, engineers, and technicians whose careers are suddenly in limbo. Many spent decades honing their craft, only to find themselves without a clear path forward. The pain ripples outward. Small businesses, suppliers, and local economies are all hit hard. Restaurants, coffee shops, and service providers that depended on factory workers now struggle to survive. Property values drop, tax revenues shrink, and social services are strained. The effects are felt in every corner of these towns, from schools to hospitals, as budgets tighten and resources dwindle. Families are forced to relocate, leaving behind homes and communities they've known for generations. The sense of loss is profound as neighbors say goodbye and childhood memories are left behind. Workers in their 50s face the daunting prospect of retraining for new careers. Many worry about starting over, competing with younger applicants, and whether they'll ever regain the stability they once had. The sense of betrayal is profound. Many believed in the promise of America first and now feel abandoned. Hopes for a secure future have been replaced by frustration and anger. The loss erodes the middle class and hollows out once prosperous towns. Once busy streets are now quiet, and the spirit of these communities is fading. Empty factories stand as stark reminders of policy gone awry. They are silent witnesses to the consequences of decisions made far from the people most affected. For these communities, the aerospace shakeup is a painful, lived reality. The road to recovery will be long, and the scars may last for generations. Boeing's move isn't just a blow to American cities, it's a restructuring of North America's industrial ecosystem. The dense network of U.S. suppliers is being dismantled as Boeing's center of gravity shifts to Canada. Suppliers face a choice: move north or risk losing contracts. Canadian provinces are luring them with incentives, triggering a secondary wave of U.S. job losses. This shift has strategic consequences. America cedes control over a vital sector. Dependence on foreign production creates vulnerabilities in times of tension. As innovation clusters reform in Canada, the next wave of breakthroughs may emerge from Montreal or Toronto. The redrawn supply chain is a transfer of industrial capability and future potential. Boeing's move sends ripples far beyond aerospace. High-tech electronics and avionics firms must now consider relocating or risk losing business to Canadian competitors. The energy sector feels the shift. U.S. plants close, Canadian facilities drive new investments, especially in renewables. Logistics networks are reconfigured, with U.S. ports losing traffic and Canadian hubs booming. Warehousing, freight, and trucking industries are all affected. Professional services, law, accounting, consulting follow the manufacturing base north. The result is a brain drain of both blue and white-collar talent. The loss of a single anchor industry erodes the entire economic fabric of a region. The domino effect is profound and far-reaching. The political fallout from Boeing's move has been swift and severe. The promise to bring jobs back is contradicted by a flagship company moving them out. Critics argue protectionist policies have backfired, driving away investment and punishing workers. The administration faces infighting. Some demand tougher measures, others call for a course correction. Elected officials in affected states scramble to aid displaced workers and attract new industries. Replacing Boeing is a monumental task, and leaders are caught between defending national policy and addressing local devastation. Internationally, Canada's model is now a powerful advertisement for stability and cooperation. Prime Minister Trudeau frames the move as a testament to Canada's open, forward-looking approach. America's reputation as a destination for investment and innovation has taken a hit. The turbulence is both domestic and global, with consequences that will linger. Canada's success in attracting Boeing was no accident. It was the result of a patient, multi-decade strategy. Investments in education, engineering, and R&D built a world-class workforce and innovation ecosystem. Government-backed consortiums and funds fueled next-generation aerospace technologies. Stable policy and international trade agreements positioned Canada as a reliable global hub. Consistent support sent a clear message: invest here, and we'll be your partner for the long haul. When U.S. policy shifted, Canada was ready, with the workforce, research, and incentives already in place. Canada's ascent is a lesson in the power of long-term industrial strategy. These events have redrawn North America's industrial map. Traditional aerospace centers like Puget Sound are fading, while the Montreal-Toronto corridor rises as the new hub. The region is booming, property values up, infrastructure expanding, optimism high. Top engineers and technicians, including many from the U.S., are flocking north. A vibrant industrial cluster is forming, driving the next wave of aerospace advancement. Industrial leadership is no longer guaranteed by history, It must be earned through smart policy and investment. The US must adapt, investing in education, research, and infrastructure to compete. Canada's opportunity is to solidify its gains and build on its success. The new map signals a more multipolar North American economy. The challenge now is to recognize this reality and respond with vision and resolve.